Hey guys, wInevitable back here for part 2 of the Tyrael guide. We're on Dragonshire. We do have an interesting composition. An Abatha, a Rainer, a Nazebo, and a Tassadar. So, we'll see how this plays out. It was a long queue time. I think it went over 5. So, don't know what kind of game it's going to be, but it'll be interesting. See how things go. Dragonshire is a fun map to play on. We've got the yo-yo, the seesaw of the 2 shrines once they come up at about 1:30, and yeah, it should be fun. We've got some good DPS, good sustain, but we don't have any healing at all. So it's going to come down to well, let's see what the other team is. Okay, I played against a few of these guys before. They have an Abatha and a Falstad, a Vala, a Hammer, and an Arthas. So they got good DPS. Arthas is going to be their main front line. We're going to have to kind of skip him and kill the other ones. If he clones Valor or Falstad and gets an ult off, it's going to be rough. Now, how we want to lane this, I have no clue. Rainer and Tassadar are both good in lane alone. I feel like even Nazebo could do decently. But I do take Smite for that 30% damage here on level 1. We might be able to push bottom hard if Abby's going to be down here. I really don't want to be focusing him. We can't focus Arthas there because he's a tank. A little bit lag. I've got to pop up, oops, on my screen. Alright. Vala's almost dead. Do get a kill on Hammer, and Vala had to back off. So that works out. I'm not going to go in for that. I would probably take a death. And let me actually... Not the best place to back, but I've got Skype notifications going on, so let me close this for a second. While I'm recording, I don't want that to get in the way. Forgot to close it. Yeah, so we got bottom shrine, so it worked out better than I thought. We're a little ahead in XP here. I haven't been paying attention to the other 2 lanes much right now to see exactly why that happened. But I'm going to help. We get Arthas. Great play here from Nazebo and... what's his face? Abatha. For this one, I'm going to take this time. As I said in the preview, you could take Retribution if you want. I'm not going to take Amplified Healing because we don't have a dedicated healer. So I'm going to give this a shot. And I'm going over the wall here because we have a Dragon Knight. If he would just bust this down, he could actually bust this down pretty easily. He's focusing the tower. Get the gate down first. Yeah. You can see Abatha said that. And the thing is, if they get the gate, I would have been able to get out pretty easily. Luckily, the team wasn't here. I mean, we had to kill on Hammer as well. Gonna save the Q for now to get out if I need to. Let him focus the buildings, and I'm gonna try and keep these squishies off. Now, that was stupid. I'm actually probably gonna... Nope, I got Abatha. Okay. He missed his W. And I've got my shield, so... Not sure how I like this talent. It's just we do not have a dedicated healer, so I'm really not wanting to use amplified healing without that. I think I'm not gonna be able to take this unless I get help. There we go. And I'm still gonna take battle momentum for that cooldown. Going back. Give them a little thank you. Tassadar's up here battling it out. I think Rainer shifted bottom. If he stays bottom, I'll go mid. I am going to wait till my Mana gets up to almost full there. Oh, they do get a kill on Vala. Nice kill there. These guys are doing really solid play here. It's great to have that kind of play from these guys. And I haven't seen Falstad all game. I guess he's been top lane. So we're still pre-10. We do want to get camps here. We could take the hard camp. But we don't want to lose lane XP to do it necessarily. They're going to push this back pretty hard. And didn't take a death yet. Very awesome. Just going to get Vala to back off a little bit. And then I'm going to back off probably here. It's just hard to go in that close right now. See if we can get a kill in Arthas. Yep, beautiful. Tank some tower shots here. We did get a kill, so I can force this a little bit. And now I've got the shield from Abathur, so do they, but I'm going to back off now because, yeah, I'm starting to take a ton of damage. And I do have a fountain up, right? So I can take that. Judgment, of course. Going to be able to catch Vala and Falstad, possibly. It's a really awesome ultimate. Just delete her, pretty much. And I'm getting out of the way here just so I have a place to back up. We do get the Dragonite. I'm probably going to take a death, but I've got the shield, so... And that extra healing with the shield is pretty awesome in the case like that. I will stay in lane here. Get a little bit of XP and back him up. I'm out of mana, or I would have thrown a Q there. I did not check my mana. And I threw the shield up instead of throwing a Q, which is my fault. See, for a shield and a Q, you're going to need 120 mana. And I did not have that. Shifting here, mid lane. We could possibly actually get this fort. Actually, it's so low. The minions would probably get it, but might as well knock it down, right? He ulted, so I can go in on this. Oh, there's Abby. I can't do much else. I'm not gonna. That would be suicide. I wouldn't have even gotten a kill for going in there. And probably not the best place to back. So I'll jump out here and then back. I'm gonna take Cast aside here. It's just such a beautiful talent to take, and we'll show that off a little bit. In game, you know, like just to show you how that CC works. You can pull people back towards you, and you can push them away. And so far, this talent's been doing all right, I guess. You get 108 health over 3 seconds if they attack you while shielded. So I'm gonna help Raynor. Take the hard camp. Nazebo's safe, and it looks like Tassar's pushing top lane a little bit against Diamond. He's the guy in charge of what is it? The ESV, the ECS Championship Series, or is it the other way around? Did I say it? Anyways, that Heroes tournament that's been going. Oh, Nazebo takes a death. Bottom lane, a little bit too far out there. I don't think I'm going to be able to make it in time. The idea here is to lean on forts. I'm going to try and go for Falstad. Not the best. He's actually in trouble now. And he's dead. We just cornered him and he couldn't really get out. The ult was probably preemptive, but he really just needed to back off there and he didn't. I'm not sure why he didn't. He could have easily escaped with the timing of my ult. My ult had been earlier, the heroic rather, would have been pretty nice. The minions are going to get that. We're going to focus Arthas down here. He's got a lot of sustain, but he can't. Between the Archon and Tyrael's DPS, he's not going to be able to out-sustain when he's that low on health and everything. So we take another fort. It's kind of a stompy game. This is just not a bad idea. I mean, not a good idea. It's a bad idea. We'll go get the shrines. I'm going to take this wall down. Use that little cooldown on my basic abilities. And now look, I've already got... I think, did he just miss both of us with that? I couldn't see. Yeah. I think he might have missed both of us with that. And here comes Diamond. I'm dead. think I can get False Dead, though. No, not quite. We do get a Dragon Knight, which is awesome. Taking 2 deaths, not ideal, though. It kind of evens out, I guess, in that they don't get the Dragon Knight. If we died and they'd gotten the Dragon Knight, it would really sucked. Now here, you could take the blocking field. They're not the tankiest of teams. I love Blood for Blood so much, though. If I'd had Blood for Blood there, False Dead would have died, just with the explosion on top. The increased Q damage isn't bad. So, I mean, I'm tempted to take the blocking field to show you how that works, too. But I just want to go with my old standby. I just love taking Blood for Blood so much. And Nazebo with a great Ravenous Spirit here. Oh, gosh, that's beautiful. I'm going to go up to stop Hammer's push. And looks like the clone of Nazebo is... Rainer's doing work down here. This guy's going to get some damage done. I'll be able to stop Hammer from taking a fort. So far, I have to say my judgments have been pretty lackluster. I don't know where Hammer went. I think he backed, yeah. That or he either backed or he boosted past me. So now we'll go down here. They still have a couple guys dead. I could have... I mean, ideally you want to stop Hammer from getting a fort there. Could have pushed mid and gotten a keep, most likely. If we'd all pushed together. I don't know why I meant to path outside, not inside. We have to be careful here. Oh, Rainer. Oh, he's... there's nothing I could really do to save him there. Trying to keep this dude alive a little bit. He's just going to get focused down, though. And there he goes. So now we back up a little bit. They took slowing mines on Hammer. Probably with... There's one down on both sides. Looks like Abby's getting the bottom camp. This is really risky. But they have to defend. And it looks like Valo went top lane. I think we can get this before they catch on to us. And now, if Arthas wants to go here, we could actually kill him. Really bad cast asides too, I have to say. And I hit him with Blood for Blood there, and he's dead. So, you can see how it's just, with the Envenom from Nazebo, and then the Blood for Blood, he just melted. But unfortunately, yeah, I could definitely do better with my my abilities here. I'm going to actually watch this. Knock her back, and then I'm behind her. Now, I can't... We didn't have the follow-through to kill her, unfortunately. And looks like Diamond's going to take a fall there. We'll get the fountain. That should be another keep. I wouldn't push core right now. I mean, there's 3 dead. We could. If you had a coordinated team, you could... I'm pretty sure you'd take the core down, but that keep is so low already. And there are shrines up. We don't want him sneaking a Dragon Knight behind us. And then I'm able to go, and you can see that cast aside knocked him back just a little bit. Now we get another keep. We're going to play... This is kind of the safer way to do it. You could really go for the core here. And get a kill. But, you know. Why not just... Oh, okay, we're going to focus the towers down? I guess, I don't know. I'm not playing with these guys in voice chat, so... Didn't even know they had an Abathur. Oh, that's funny. I did. Those things explode, you can tell. They're green and glowing. You don't want to be next to them. You'll take extra damage. And Resurgence is not necessary. We're up 4 levels. I hate, in a case like this, to take... Resurgence is so good that I would recommend taking it. Anyways, but... I mean, this is GG. There's no... I shouldn't even die. Even if I die, the Dragon Knight will kill the core. There's nothing they can do. It's game over. And, you know, I have to say, maybe I can get some good talents in here. I'll go with it just because that's what I tell you to take in the guide. I'm dead. And that was kind of just... Oh my god, we didn't actually get it. That's what happens when you don't push as a group. So that's pretty poor play. If this was a close match... They would be right back in it right now, and you don't want to do that in a close match. I was kind of fooling around because we're up 4 levels, and we had the Dragon Knight, and I thought we'd do a ton more damage than that, and we didn't. Credit to them for focusing it down that fast. And here's a good place to take. You can see Abathur's already on the hard camp. I'm gonna go easy camp, and then you can check timers here. It's 28 seconds and 38 seconds there. So we'll probably be able to get the other ones at this point. We're up 2 levels. They don't have anything. We have all of our forts. And I'm guessing our Abathur took Mule. He did not. He took... Wait, that's not him. He took their increased range. I would take Mule, but I mean, he didn't even... Looks like he didn't even need it. If you look at... Okay, this gate's down, but that fort's close to full health. If we had a Mule, we probably wouldn't even have a gate down at this point. Now, that's a little dangerous, but that camp is not up yet, so... They do have their whole team. But we do have enough people here, and we do have the Abathur clone. When you're playing with an Abathur, it's very important to note the timing, or against an Abathur for that matter, of the clone, because there's a cooldown. And when you don't have that, you're missing a body in the fight. So it puts your team at a disadvantage when you don't have it, and when the enemy team doesn't have their clone, they're at a disadvantage. And you can really take advantage of that. So you have to recognize when the clone's up, when it's not. So if I'm ever playing with an Abathur, I'm always asking him, I was like, is your ultimate up? You know, is your heroic up? Now, I'm not there for this, but she's gonna melt. He's gonna melt. I think the only one that we didn't get was Falstad. We got the Abathur clone. I don't know where Falstad is. I'm just gonna hang out for a second. There he is. He's playing pretty safe. There's not a lot he can do though. 1v... I mean, even with Abathur helping, the clone's down, Abathur dies. They traded. And you can see the judgment there. I used it multiple times to interrupt Vala's ult. Her ult, I mean her heroic ability. I keep calling them ultimates. And I didn't even play League or Dota. What am I talking about? So yeah, you've got the interrupt. If I'd been playing, we had a Nazebo on our team. If I'd been playing against an enemy Nazebo, what would I do? I would wait. You could also use Cast Aside for this, for Nazebo. For Vala, the Cast Aside I don't think will knock her out of the heroic. So you can judgment her and knock her out of that. It stuns her. If you have another stun on your team, that's great too. You don't have to use the judgment, but she's also such a squishy target. If you can stun her and then land a spell or two on top of that, like if you have a precision strike or a Falstad, in this case we didn't, but if you do, you land that on top, then she'll melt. She'll be dead. She melted anyways, but you can see, like, we didn't even have to do a wombo combo. And a wombo combo would be like a judgment followed up by like a shock and awe, which is Falstad's heroic, or a precision strike from Nova, something, or a leap from Sonya for a double stun. You know, to keep somebody crowd controlled for a long period of time. You keep them locked down and you erase them from the fight. Kind of like an eraser style build, which was popular a few months ago. But so yeah, that wasn't, I would definitely say, not the best play that I've ever done. I had Tyrael to 10 before the wipe, and he's level 8 now. I definitely messed up. Not the best, as I said. Like, the ultimates were not great. The ones on Vala specifically were okay. The ones with Falstad, we did get the kill at that top fort, but it was not like the best, you know, I've ever seen. It was really because he didn't escape. I'm not sure. I guess he thought he couldn't get out. I think he could have if he'd gone back towards the tier 2 to their keeps. And then I ulted him another time and didn't even get a kill, I think. And I might have even... Did I die for that? Yeah, I did die. The top, when we were fighting over the top shrine. So, it's... you really want to... I pick and isolate targets off and then erase them from the fight with that ultimate. And then cast aside to knock people back. And as you saw there... let's go back to the talents real quick, just to wrap this up. Because these two levels are probably the most variable. Level 1, I almost always see people take Purge Evil. Level 4, as I said, I didn't take Amplified Healing because I didn't have a dedicated healer. I did have a Tassadar, and he did, I think he took Healing Totem. I don't remember. I don't recall actually seeing a Healing Totem. I don't know what he took there for level 4 without looking at the replay. I was too busy yapping away. But this is something that's just hard to focus when you're talking at the same time. And so the amplified healing effects, it increases regeneration and all healing received by 30%. Without a dedicated healer, it's not as useful. And that's why I went with Angelic Absorption here. Enemies that attack you while shielded grant 30 health. So I got the extra health, and that's a base 30. It scales as you level, which is important to note on all of these, talents and abilities. The damage or the health, whatever, the level, the amount, the specific amount will increase as you level up. So it's not going to be 30 for the whole game. It starts at 30 at level 4. And then it scales up. You get a plus per level. You saw, like, the one point I had 108 per, over 3 seconds. Vampiric, So, I mean, it's not bad with if you go with battle, because you have battle momentum as well. So if you're really going for auto attack, and attacking everything, that could be decent, I would think. And I really would want to sit down and crunch the numbers on these two. But as I said, amplified healing in that case, it was my go-to, but I didn't take it specifically because I did not have a dedicated healer. And I mean, you're also playing solo queue, so you can't necessarily count on Abathur. Say he could have taken like the one where the Carapace heals you, that talent, but you don't know if he's going to take that. And you don't know if Tassar is going to take a healing totem. So that's why a big thing to note here is I did not take this. I went with Absorption. You could do Retribution for increased DPS, or you could try Vampiric Assault if you want. But this worked out really nicely there. Only dying twice, and one of those was when I went just YOLO solo to the core with the Dragon Knight, just kind of goofing off. The battle momentums on 7, I pretty much stick to this. Just it works on your heroic ability, which is amazing. To knock that cooldown down by half a second with Tyrael when the judgment is so strong and so great against, especially against that composition. If they'd been very tanky, I wouldn't have taken this necessarily. But they had a Vala and they had a Falstad, and I mean there was an Abathur who could alt either of those two, or maybe you can find him and alt. I mean heroic, use your heroic onto him. So there were plenty of targets to pick off with Judgment, which is where this really comes in. Hammer, you can also use Judgment on. Not as good, but it works. And I mean, you could always alt, a heroic onto Arthas. You could judge Arthas if you want. If he's stranded, completely out in the open, you don't want him to get away. He's also very slow, though, and doesn't have an escape. So I would, definitely go for the squishier, more vulnerable targets with that. And that's why, I love taking battle momentum with Tyrael. I took this for a long time. It's kind of fun to play around with, but I don't think it's the most useful. Increased shield duration's okay, but honestly, your shield's never going to be that large in volume, like in the amount of hit points it gives you. I think that it's going to last that long. Usually my shield just gets eaten through. I throw it up, and yeah, maybe if I'm laning, it will last. But in actual team fights, the shield duration wouldn't make a difference in my experience. And I'm not really building out his attack damage as much any more than it already is. So that's why I don't really take Searing Attacks. He has a mana problem anyways. It's just not, I don't really find this useful. Movement speed when teleporting is okay, I guess, if you want to hunt people down. But that's what you've got Cast Aside for, and you also have the Judgment for that. He's a very mobile character already. So that's why I go with the battle momentum there. Judgment, of course, we talked about. And you saw me take Resurgence. Even though in a situation like that, you could definitely get away with taking Angel of Justice easily. I could have easily taken that, but I just want to stress how good of a talent this is. It'll probably be nerfed. Use it while you can, I guess, or don't use the crutch. Maybe you should just take Angel of Justice every time, so you never rely on the angel on your shoulder, as they call it, because Resurgence is so strong. I'm taking it in almost cases. I don't take it on Tassadar, which is the last guide I did, which is interesting. But other than that, Cast Aside, right here, it's just amazing. You could see me like using it on Hammer there. I think I used it on Vala. It didn't get, it wasn't also my best uses of Cast Aside ever. I could certainly have done a lot better. And you'll see as you use it in game. I certainly recommend it. And level 16 is another one that's kind of wonky. It's a lot of choices. I took Blood for Blood and I used it there on like Arthas. I think I used it on Hammer. I used it on Vala. It just melts people, especially when you stack in other damage on top of it, and they can't escape. They might dash away. Vala might vault, but boom, she's still like that Envenom and the Blood for Blood on top. It stacks, and she just she'll die anyways. Even if she can maybe even touch a fountain, she might not be able to out heal. In a lot of cases. And then, as I said, these two are all right to use as well. I don't really build the shield out that much. I don't think that's 25% for allied hero that you shield. I don't think that's that much and very useful. Unless you're going a straight shield build and you want to build your shield, your W out to be as strong as possible. So you could try one of these two. When you're talent gated, I would try this for the CC. Play around with Holy Ground. I've seen that used. It's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun. But if you want something very simple and easy to use, and you don't want the extra key presses, like this, you kind of have to judge where you're landing your Q to body block somebody. In this, you have to hit 1. You saw it was like the hotkey was 1 for this. You want something purely easy to do. Blade of Justice. You just Q in and you hit A and you left click, and you attack move, or you attack move onto somebody and you get that extra damage. It's very easy to use. But yeah, you saw me take Blood for Blood there. And again, yeah, that wraps it up, guys. So I'll put the basic talent list in the description there. for the basic ones that I take. And of course, it does depend a little bit on the composition, as you saw here. And get out there and land some judgments, cast some people aside, and you just body block people to oblivion with Tyrael, man. He is sweet, sweet justice. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll be bringing more your way. So keep coming back. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you want to see something else. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.